Welcome to the 43rd Annual Billy Barker Days Festival, and it's time for the parade.
And it's a beautiful day, and the throngs of people are anxiously awaiting. And of course, on Billy Barker Days, we have many favorite moments. Bob, you've grown up here your whole life. What's one of your favorite memories of Billy Barker Days?
For Billy Barker Days, it's got to be, besides just the people, it's got to be the crash to pass, maybe the fireworks. Oh, there's too many to choose from.
Yeah, and myself, I've been here for 25 years, and I have to agree with you. One of the first events I ever went to was the Crash to Pass, but my family and I, we thoroughly enjoy the closing ceremonies of the fireworks. Has to be, bar none, one of our favorite memories.
Absolutely. Billy Barker Days is an amazing festival put on purely by volunteers that do an amazing job. You look around and you think, like, the amount of man and woman hours that have to go into making something like this happen is just amazing.
And totally free of charge. There's so many events that you can go to that doesn't cost you a nickel. So we are just ourselves anxiously waiting the parade to begin, so we'll be right with you. Well, good morning and welcome back to a beautiful Saturday morning here in Quesnel, British Columbia, and I'd like to welcome you all to our 43rd Annual Billy Barker Days Parade. I'm here with my co-host Bob, and we are about to begin. So what do we see coming down the street right now, Bob?
Looks like we've got the Quesnel RCMP leading the Legion Color Party from our local Legion branch.
Branch 94. And they're accompanied with the Quesnel and Prince George pipe and drum bands. Always a good music to get the crowd going first thing in the parade.
Exactly. It's not a parade until you've had the pipe and drums, or bagpipes for that matter.
There's an abundance of people. The crowds are gathering for one of the most sought after events here in Quesnel. The parade is such a tradition, eh, Bob? Can you remember being a young guy sitting around here like these kids out here today watching the parade?
Oh, absolutely.
I love all the colors. Our proud veterans we must support our veterans, and we have the Air Cadets in Quesnel, is it not, Bob?
I honestly don't know.
I think it's Air Cadets, along with the Legion Color Party.
No, you're right.
And it appears that our own Quesnel Pipe Band has won first place.
Yeah,
one of the many competitions they've obviously played at.
They won Best Pipe Band. All right.
We have the honorary parade marshal, John Matthews. Has made many years of involvement with Billy Barker Days. There is John Matthews.
And right behind them, it's our MLA, Coralie Oakes, and looks like she's got a special guest with her.
She sure does. It looks like the Premier Christy Clark on board with her, as well as some cute little kids.
Oh.
And there she is, Miss Christy Clark, enjoying our parade here in Quesnel.
Well, the stream of politicians continue.
And here we have Todd Doherty, MP Prince George, with his wife Kelly.
You should be here.
Oh, he's got his Billy button on.
And our own dignitary in his own right, like you'd all welcome, Mayor Bob Simpson, walking down the street, looking very avant-garde in his Billy Barker Day attire.
Very period accurate for the
Morning, Bob.
1870s.
And here's a very special lady driving in a very special car. There's Maureen Murray, and she is the president of our Billy Barker Day Society.
Maureen's been involved with, it's weird calling her Maureen, I'm just so used to calling her Mo. She's been involved with Billy Barker Days for years. She's a face that everybody recognizes, well, just like the Billy Barker Days mascot. Everybody in town recognizes.
As well as Maureen and all the countless volunteers and the Billy Barker Days Society members. That without them, this festival wouldn't be possible, Bob.
Absolutely.
And we have the Quesnel Lions Old Shoe Playhouse coming up. Here's the Quesnel Rotary. This year's playhouse was built by very dedicated volunteers with materials provided by the Quesnel Lions, West Fraser Mills, Q-Ply, amongst many others. Come down to the Lions booth at the Goldust Mall and buy your playhouse raffle tickets for only $3.
And right behind them is Quesnel's Volunteer Citizen of the Year, Rose Gates. And she is known for being a longtime volunteer in Quesnel.
That's great. That's great. And right now we have the Quesnel Motocross Association. The Quesnel Motocross Association is sanctioned by McQMX and Canadian Motorsports Racing Corps. So, Bob, all weekend long you can see all the bike races up at the our racetrack up on the South Hills.
Down Oval Road there?
Yeah, you bet. And this weekend wraps up the North and South Series for the year-end title right here in Quesnel down Oval Road.
Right behind them, D+D Deliveries and Red Eye Service. No delivery too small. Also Red Eye Service. If you need your car home after a night on the town, call them. They support Extra Life BC Children's Hospital charities.
And we just seen the Kidney Foundation of Canada, Prince George chapter of the Kidney Foundation of Canada, BC and the Yukon branch. Diane Dupron is the president of the Prince George chapter, BC and Yukon branch board. Paul Dupron is secretary vice.
All right, well now we get to test my pronunciation. Here's our incoming royalty for Miss Quesnel 2016. We've got Alexis Poulin, Princess 2016 Emma Dubois, and Princess Erica Vahau.
And they look very beautiful. Congratulations, ladies. And here is Darby Small Engine Crasher. Darby Small Engine has entered their crash to the Pass Truck Crasher. And that looks like an interesting rig.
Yeah, this was a crowd favorite Thursday night at the Crash to Pass.
Well, it doesn't look that worse for Werebob. He must have done pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he use lawnmower power there?
All right.
We have the Mayford Place Assisted Living for Seniors float. And there's some of the folks riding in that beautiful old Ford truck. And it looks like it's Grandpa's toy from Mayford Place, Seniors Assisted Living.
Oh, now check out these little cars. It's Caribou Shrine Club number 26 from Williams Lake, and they're driving 2 mini race cars.
I'd like to drive one of those. Now, didn't they used to ride around in little motorbikes, the Shriners? I think I like the cars better.
It's those hats that I remember the most.
We have the Keystone Cops Shriners. The Keystone Cops are a unit of Shriners from Kamloops whose slapstick and comical routine is based on the typical police of the 1920s silent movie era. And boy, that sure looks like a bunch of fun. The Giza Shriners from Kamloops.
Oh, they look like they're having a blast.
And the floats are moving along. Everybody's enjoying the parade. Lots of fun for everyone. If you were to come to Billy Barker Days and check out some of these, you would definitely want to hit the parade.
Right behind us here, or right behind them, is the Abbott Heights Supportive Living. Abbott Heights Supportive Living is a seniors residence here in Quesnel who cater to seniors in a fun and friendly atmosphere. They currently have 8 residents and provide all meals, room, and housekeeping. They go for walks, play games outside, in and out, and there's a greenhouse for those with green thumbs.
And just passing us by now is the Salvation Army Quesnel Corps. The Quesnel Corps would like to thank the people of Quesnel for their continued support. The Army runs a food bank, soup kitchen, thrift store, and church. Everyone is welcome. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, Quesnel.
District of Wells Mayor Robin Sharp, right behind them.
Welcome to Quesnel, Robin Sharp. And we have All West Glass. All West Glass is your source for home and vehicle glass.
While we wait for the next float, I can tell you that if you haven't got your Billy Barker Days program, it's the best thing to get for finding out all the different events. We've got one in front of us here, and it's definitely key to making sure that you get into every event that you want to get to. All kinds of information about Billy Barker Days, the sponsors, etc.
I think you can even win a program draw and enter to win a few prizes as well. Our next float we have, Bob, is Quesnel Techniques Gymnastics. The Quesnel Techniques Gymnastics is performing some of their techniques as they travel the parade route, and there they are, a bunch of young people doing flips and tumbles, and I think I would hurt myself if I did that, Bob.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Good job, guys. Oh, look at that.
Some serious athletics there. Well, here comes the Rotary Club. Rotary put on a beautiful pancake breakfast this morning. Got us nice and full with breakfast and coffee.
Oh, pancakes and eggs and all that goodies. So were you up at 7:30 this morning to get that? Whoa.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's terrific.
When it's a breakfast I don't have to cook, it's always that much better. And Rotary is known for, worldwide really, for their volunteerism. And our local Rotary here in Quesnel, they support a variety of community initiatives.
Yes, they certainly do. The Diamond Calcutta is one of their huge events. They raise so much money for a lot of deserving people. And we have a first place mascot there and that cute little bear. And next we, as you can hear the revving engines, we have the Prospectors Club. The Prospectors Car Club members are out showing off their beautiful classic cars. And what do we have here? An old Ford. That's a beauty.
Beautiful color.
Ford Fairlane 500. Good morning, and they're shining so beautifully in the beautiful blue skies that we have this morning. Typical of the weather if you come to Quesnel and Billy Barker Days.
Oh, check out this old Chevrolet.
That's beautiful. I love it. I want one.
I'd be scared to drive it. I wouldn't want to get a rock chip.
No, exactly. But you can't sit in your garage all day, and that's why they bring them out to events like this for us to enjoy in their parade. So if you were to come to Billy Barker Days, folks, you could see something like Kids Day, Seniors Day, the Crash to Pass, lots of entertainment. We have music down on the Gold Dust Mall and Laborde stage. The parade, of course, like we have this morning, with the Gold Dust Mall, the Quesnel Rodeo, world famous Quesnel Rodeo, our Midway, motocross, and much, much more when you come to Billy Barker Days.
Last night definitely turned out to be an amazing night with Chilliwack in town on the stage at Laborde Park.
Terrific to have a band like that, Chilliwack, and you get to see it for free of charge.
Canadian music royalty.
We have the Quesnel Ringette Association, enables kids to play a winter sport, and association members and players accompany the float. And Quesnel Ringette, what a great way for kids to stay active. It's so important. I might pull a hamstring if I did that, or poke my eye out a lot. I don't know how much fun that would be.
Well, coming down the road here, we've got more antique cars, and in this case, it's the Prospectors Car Club.
Vintage Car Club.
Sorry, yeah, Vintage Car Club of Canada. These guys really enjoy showing off their shiny, beautiful vehicles.
I wonder, I think that some of the difference with the Vintage Car Club, Bob, is that they don't modify them too much. They keep them pretty stock, and that gives them their status. Like this 54 Chevy here. Look, that, you know, can you imagine buying that right off the shelf? That's just amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a driving time capsule.
And my daughter, I'm sure she'd want to punch me right now because there's a VW Beetle and I get punched every time we see one, so. And there's something resplendent of ZZ Top. Beautiful. What a nice looking car.
Well, here's somebody that's kind of put the Caribou on the map. These guys do beautiful work. It's Pioneer Log Homes. And you'll see in the back there, once they turn the corner, Pioneer Log Homes, obviously in Williams Lake, has brought their Cedar Rocket. It's a car they built last year, driven by Timber King Brian Sr., and of course the float manned by the Timber King.
they're sure a fun bunch of guys building all their cedar homes and whatnot, though, eh? And look at that. There's the cedar rocket. That looks like a Fred Flintstone vehicle if I ever seen one.
If I'm not mistaken, they drag raced that thing.
So this is Bob, the outgoing Quesnel royalty. We have the ladies of 2015 Quesnel royalty, the Talise Gauthier, Princess 2015 Manisha Johal, and Princess Courtney Moore. Thank you, ladies, for your year of service, and good luck in your ventures in the future. Must be some more of the Vintage Car Club?
Absolutely.
Wow.
1929.
Yeah, man, I don't even think John the cameraman was born in 1929. There's a nice old 57 convertible. That's a Ford Fairlane 500. Wow, what an amazing car. Sure is nice to see all the people out enjoying this, and thanks once again to all the volunteers who organized this parade, and everybody that offered one of their floats or one of their exhibits to come in. It sure is nice to have.
Definitely lets you know, like, Quesnel has a lot of community pride, and there's a lot of people out here who are really happy to show just how amazing this little community is.
I have to agree with you, Bob. The civic pride in Quesnel is one of the things when I moved here I noticed, and it captivated me, and I haven't left. That's how much I like Quesnel. So if you're looking for something fun and interesting to do, folks, there's so much to do in the city of Quesnel. Come and see us. We're friendly, we're kind, always willing to help a person out. The residents of Quesnel are beautiful people.
Well, right behind them, it's Caribou Clubhouse. And it's an after-school care and activity center run by Kara and Amanda. And if I'm not mistaken, they just started quite recently here.
Oh, so
they got all the bubbles.
A need for having the child care for people that both parents have to work, and so we're very glad to have people like the Caribou Clubhouse.
All right.
And so this looks like the Caribou Country and the Goat. Caribou Country and the Goat provides local radio service to the Caribou. And thank you very much for keeping us entertained.
And behind, we've got more more classic cars here.
And I think that might even be the first place guy. I'm not too sure, but there's an old Comet. Hey, wow. Yeah.
First place, best 1900 to 1960 stock vehicle.
Wow, there we go. And this looks like we have a first place float climbing up. This is the Barlow Creek 4-H Club. The Barlow Creek 4-H Club. Come check out their annual show and sale August 4th and 6th at Alex Fraser Park. The livestock auction will be August 6th. Again, one of the other venues we have in town, Bob, the Alex Fraser Park where the rodeo is, our fall fair, the 4-H Club, many residents in Quesnel involved in those kinds of activities.
Well, speaking of the types of groups where you can better yourself, here is the 2016 Miss Quesnel candidates. So these ladies went through they went through a lot of different events as part of the selection. So They definitely deserve a round of applause that they're getting from the crowd right now.
The self-development program that they have here in Quesnel is just amazing, and kudos to these ladies. It takes lots of courage, and it's just amazing.
So it looks like we got a bit of a gap in the parade here.
So on that float, we had Miss Sarah Barber from Aesthetics, Cassidy Rutledge, Miss West Quesnel Business Association, Harkarak Kaur, Miss Attitude South, Nia Claire, Miss Nasco First Nations, Amy Oster, and Miss Julie's Edible Bouquets, and Haley Nipshank. Wow, I can't believe we've had a glut of rain in the last few days, hey Bob, and now we have this beautiful blue sky. This is what Quesnel is about, man. Just to be
Absolutely.
able to sit in your lawn chair with your sunglasses on and enjoy a parade like this morning.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't like the weather in the Caribou, wait 15 minutes, and it certainly has cleared up for us for the better.
So if you come out to Quesnel on a day like this, folks, don't forget, bring your hat, bring your umbrellas, bring your sunblock, some bottles of water. You want to look after yourself, but boy, we can sure enjoy this weather. It's amazing.
Well, we've got the Filipino-Canadian community of Quesnel, and they have their theme for their entry is... Now, I'm not going to pronounce this right.
Ati Atahan?
Well, there we go. I should have just got you to do this one.
That looks like me. Ati Atahan, the indigenous tradition of the Philippines. And what a great, gorgeous, colorful float, along with some of the kids of the Filipino-Canadian community of Quesnel.
And it looks like they've actually secured Best Culture Group as their award for this parade.
Man, and it's a big float. I want to find out what the Ati Atahan celebration is, because I'll tell you, every event that I go to and our Canadian Filipinos are at, Bob, they feed everybody, they're dancing, they're happy, they're having lots of fun, and man, do them ladies know how to cook some good food.
Absolutely. Looks like they're going to give us a demonstration right in front of our camera crew here.
Well, again, just like the ringette girls, this looks like something I would pull a muscle at for sure, Bob.
Jeez, I'm getting tired just watching it.
We sure appreciate the effort and the energy and everybody that showed up for the parade today. Thanks you very much. What a great way to celebrate the day on the parade.
All right, well, they move on. We've got the North Star Church behind them.
North Star Church offering all sorts of programs, and they are located in Quesnel at on the North Star interchange, and you can check them out on Facebook. North Star Church. They also have a soccer program by the looks of it through August the 15th through 19th. Again, one of the great venues in Quesnel. We have our indoor soccer facility now, Bob. Have you seen that? Have you been in that building?
I have. It's beautiful. It's a great thing for Quesnel to have.
Amazing for our youth to be able to play soccer throughout our winter months. We do have winter months in Quesnel, so very happy to have that.
Well, here comes a group that I'm quite proud of. It's the group from Skyfest, and in this case, Skyfest 2017, August 4th, 5th, and 6th of 2017. It's the International Air Show that's going to be held the long weekend in August. Come out and see this hot and be incredibly cool show.
Yeah, you betcha. Loud jets and all the fun and excitement of that. I'll be there, Bob. Right behind them, we have the Quesnel Youth Soccer Association. As we were talking, and Sierra Cook, the BC Ambassadors candidate, that just snuck by me. I apologize for that. The Quesnel Youth and Soccer Association right behind Sierra, and that's what Bob and I were talking about, the indoor soccer facility as well as the many outdoor fields that we have for when the weather is like this, but sure glad to have it when it's winter time.
Absolutely. The Gold Pan Roses right behind them. They're Quesnel's branch of the Red Hat Society.
And they got that first place for an association or a club. Thank you, ladies of the Red Hat Society. A couple of them. Oh, look at now, even their car is wearing a hat.
Okay, so the description for this next one actually has me quite excited.
And what do we have here, Bob?
Well, according to the list, Richard's Racer. Now, I can't quite see it yet, but I have to see. Is it? It is. Okay, so Richard's Racer is the fastest pig in North America. This entry is by Buffalo Bill's ATV Rentals, a great supporter of Billy Barker Day's parade. He's provided marshalling with their ATVs for many years.
And it says that you're looking at the fastest pigs in North America, and we are coming to a race at the Quesnel Fall Fair, September 10th and 11th. Well, I want to see the fastest pig. We have the Kids Care Center float. The Kids Care Center on Flamingo Street is showing its Minecraft float. Everybody loves Minecraft, as long as they're not out catching Pokemons.
Yeah, that game came out of nowhere. Well, Bust a Move is giving us some tunes here. Bust a Move DJ Services.
DJ and karaoke service,
right, yeah.
Yeah, is here to fulfill your every need when it comes to your party. Right on, Bust a Move DJ Services. I am not quite too sure. Maybe that's still part of the DJ services. But right behind them, we have Regency Chrysler. Regency Chrysler Quesnel is displaying some of their new vehicles, and maybe that's actually what that yellow vehicle was ahead of them, Bob.
Potentially.
Didn't notice it was a Dodge.
Oh yeah, okay. So maybe they've got two vehicles in this.
Oh, one of our local heroes, John Goodwin, is sitting up there playing some music for them on the Regency Quesnel Chrysler float.
Kersley Christmas trees. Actually, that's where I got mine this year. It's a lot of fun being able to go out and choose your own tree and.
Do you get to chop it down?
Oh, absolutely. They let you do it all. They have pre-cut ones if you want, but
awesome.
It's more fun to cut your own.
And I see we have the number 71 race car, Westcar MCon PU. The number 71 race car towed by an MCon pickup.
Stock car racing, another big thing that happens during the Billy Barker Days weekend.
All weekend long.
Exactly. Well, looks like there's Bev from Caribou Radio.
From CaribouRadio.com, there's a float Caribou Radio. And we have the float of the Pet Safe Coalition Society of Canada, keeping our animals safe throughout Canada. I think that's a terrific thing. They must be the ones to stop abuses of animals and whatnot, as well as some of the other locally or nationally owned associations. But that is the Pet Safe Coalition Society of Canada.
Oh, glad they could be here this year.
Anybody's riding those ponies.
Yeah, so you were right. Disaster Animal Response written on the back of their vehicle here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So, I mean, maybe if a horse is lost in a ditch or in some sort of accident, these are the types of people that'll come and save them.
One of the themes we've talked about so far today was volunteerism, and there is a lot of volunteers out there that do that kind of stuff for things like forest fires, natural disasters, etc. So I'm glad to see a group like this.
That I didn't even realize there was such a coalition, and I'm sure grateful to have them. That's terrific. And there's one of the volunteers just warning the crowd that we have some live animals coming, and wow, what a terrific day.
Where did you go last night? That's too bad.
So I can't say enough about how many people are out here today enjoying the parade, Bob, and how many volunteers. How many volunteers and the people that have come in here with their floats and all their vehicles and whatnot, Bob. It's just terrific.
Absolutely. So we've got the first place for specialty band, and it looks like that is the Nazco First Nation float. So the Nazco First Nation float, we'll see their dancers, drummers, singers, and a full band, followed by a horse and youth in regalia.
Oh, that's terrific. One of our First Nations, local First Nations, the Nazco band. A lot of civic pride with these folks, and I'm certainly glad that they won the specialty band in the first place in a big rig, some beautifully decorated horses. You can hear the band as we're coming up. The Nasco First Nations band. Beautiful. We have some drummers on the back singing their traditional songs with drums and their vocals, Bob. And on the back, it looks like Carrier Nation. That's one of our local live bands that we have. I'll tell you, folks, there's a ton of local talent in Quesnel. The River City Music Association that we have, as well as many other venues that support local live entertainment.
The music scene in this community is amazing. And right behind them, the Barkerville Historic Town. Barkerville Historic Town and Park is represented by Teamster Douglas Saywich, Caribou Regional District Chair Al Richmond, CRD North Director John Macer, and Barkerville characters Billy Barker, John Barron, Ms. Illabella Irvin, and the urchins of Barkerville.
Oh, that's terrific. And there's so much to do here in Quesnel, folks. If it's something you have to check out, is going up to Barkerville and seeing the historic town, the gold town that started it all in this area, folks. Go up there. It'll be an experience you'll never forget to see the Barkerville.
We used to do it every year in school. We'd take the bus out there and visit Barkerville. Well, now I find that every year my wife and I make sure to go out there at least once a year. It's just something you have to take in every year.
Oh, you bet. And they have everything up there. You can have the food, all the trims and fun and excitement, folks, at Barkerville. So much to do. You can go gold panning, there's tours, everything.
Lots of camping right outside the park, and of course Wells. You can go and spend an entire day walking around Wells.
That's right. And we have the Quesnel District Riding Club, the equestrian drill team. This is all the little ponies and the drill teams and the riders of the Quesnel District Riding Association, with the miniature horse and cart and ponies and all the. Now, Bob, there they are. The most important people of the parade are the pooper scoopers, Bob.
Oh, there we go.
When you have the live animals out on the parade route, unfortunately, somebody has to come along and clean up the mess. So, kudos and congratulations and big thanks to that lady pushing the wheelbarrow for picking up all the accidents. With some beautiful horses. And then the Communities for Veterans Foundation and the Ride Across Canada. Founders Paul Nichols riding Zoe and Terry Nichols riding Skip. The organization was started to bring awareness to Canada's contemporary war veterans and to assist veterans transition from military to civilian life. Community for Veterans. And more pooper scoopers. So many. This is one of the longer parades that I've seen, Bob. This is terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look around the corner, you can see there's still many way behind them.
That's terrific. Then we have the Talus float going by. And the Special Olympics of British Columbia Quesnel chapter. We have the Special Olympics. These folks, they're playing golf, they're playing baseball, they're bowling, they're doing everything, Bob. They're out in the community representing Quesnel all throughout British Columbia. I think they've won gold in many events.
Well, here comes Big Canyon rafting. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Big Canyon rafting, take the Big Blue Bus to your next rafting adventure. Again, so many things to do in the Quesnel District, and out in our rivers, and rafting is one of them.
We're in the splash zone.
Log frame, log home restoration, little float. There's a little vehicle.
Oh, hey, we've got someone who's aspiring to be John the camera guy up front.
Excellent. We have Shaw Cable, and there they are in their float.
More classic cars. Number 64. It's a Model T driven by Terry Yeager. It's a 1927 Model T.
Yeah, wow. Beautiful. And a 1928 Model A Ford.
Almost a 90-year-old
Ron
car.
Hunter, yeah, that's terrific. And here representing the NDP constitution, North Caribou, is Burnham Belohi, Jane Shen, and MLA Stikeen Doug Donaldson, part of the 35-member NDP opposition. Well, what the heck is that? That is a car I've never seen before, and that sure looks like a lot of fun. Looks like you and I could pick that up and move it if we wanted to.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that when there's a logging truck anywhere near me.
Yeah, no. And it looks like we have the M-Terra float right behind them. We have just institutionalized in the last year a recycling program in Quesnel, Bob, from M-Terra Environmental. Jamie Collins is the area supervisor for Quesnel and Prince George. It sure is nice to have the blue boxes so we can do our part and get our recycling to where it can be best used.
Absolutely, and it's part of a provincial program through Multi Materials BC.
You bet. Thank you very much, M-Terra.
Quesnel's West Park Mall is next here with their Billy Barker Days era float, promoting the mall itself.
And it looks like they won first place, and what a great float that is. All in the era-specific clothing. Terrific.
Absolutely.
We have so many districts in Quesnel. We have South Hills, we have West Park, we have the Quesnel Downtown Association. It's just terrific. Quesnel is abundant with everything going on all at once.
West Quesnel is a very vibrant business area still.
So I'm guessing that this may be Forest Power Sports, Quesnel Limited. Forest Power Sports, Danica Friel, Bob Walper, and a team of riding quads and side-by-sides. Man, lots of fun. Now, is that that's what do they call that? The two-wheeler there, Bob?
A Segway.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like a 4x4 Segway.
Now, I've seen Segways down in Vancouver, but that thing looks like it's an off-road Segway.
That is an off-road Segway, and that looks like a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Quads and side-bys. Looks like they have a Sea-Doo coming up. Three-wheelers, all part of the Forest Power Sports Quesnel Limited.
Oh, they've got Sea-Doos as well.
And it just keeps coming. This is an amazing parade, folks. If you come to Quesnel, one of the amazing events that you can check out. It sure is a crowd pleaser for sure, Bob.
Absolutely.
And there's Ski-Doo. That's terrific. Oh wow, look at those things. That's lots of skidooing to do in Quesnel in the winter months.
Right behind them, Graydon Security Systems, Hager Alarms, local people, local service. There's a name a lot of people recognize.
You bet. Security services and doing doors and lock service, all that great stuff for Graydon.
If your alarm goes off, these are the people that show up at your door to make sure everything's all right.
That's right. Graydon Security Systems.
In a classic Mercury.
Oh, look at this old tractor getting pulled. Number 73, the Quesnel District Heritage Association. The Quesnel District Heritage Association runs the Antique Machinery Park, and their motto is saving the past for the future. One of the float features is a 1905 hay press, and the other displays they have are raffle prizes. Thank you very much to the Quinellen District Heritage Association.
The Antique Machinery Park is definitely on the list of things to check out frequently. Yes, it is about history, but it's always changing. They do a great work of curating lots of great exhibits.
Oh, and it looks like that's some of the things they're raffling off. Some beautiful picnic tables and a garden arch, Bob. That's terrific. Well, this looks like one of the exciting floats that we have, Bob.
We got our conservation officers leading the Forest Lands and Natural Resources group.
And the BC Wildlife Service.
These guys have a tough job every summer when things get dry and the forest fires start.
Yeah, we're sure thankful to have them, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, isn't there a wet zone part of the parade, Bob, and these guys all get together and have a big water battle?
Well, I'll get under the table if that breaks out.
I don't think it's here, but there is a cautionary part of the program that in the water zone, I think the forestry and the forest land resources have a big water battle, so.
Oh.
And it looks like they're doing a little bit of it right here. I'm sure some of the people wouldn't mind getting a little wet. It's already warming up here in the morning on a Saturday in Quesnel.
These guys are out in their full gear. Now imagine being at the edge of a forest fire with the heat that comes off that in this full gear, having to walk into most places. It's a tough job.
Yeah, we sure thank them for being out there and helping to protect our forests. That is absolutely a given.
Do you smell smoke?
Yes, I do. And a little bit of water shenanigans going on. I'm glad our cameraman didn't get wet from that. But again, we are so thankful to these groups of people for keeping our forests and lands safe.
Oh, I love the water bomber. The local group here known as Blackwater, and that's their demonstration of a water bomber.
Yes, and a water tower and a lookout tower. That's terrific. You bet. And there's Smokey the Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Stomp it out.
Now for the big machinery.
And then here we have a big loader from Inland. Inland has entered this 921 case wheel loader. I'm sure the kids get a big kick out of the big loader.
Number 77 here, Parallel Welding and Fabrication. They're displaying their crane truck.
Now that's a big crane, and there's a lot of construction and whatnot going on in Quesnel, and boy, you could sure haul up some big things with that crane.
Absolutely.
Might even help me get out of bed in the morning, Bob.
It looks like they don't have to do a massive multi-point turn. They've got full turning axles on the front. That's awesome.
Okay, so that very loud float you hear is from Marlow Logging. Marlow Logging and Godso Contracting Limited. Godso Contracting has brought 3 of their logging trucks for us to see today.
It looks like they took the first place for wheeled entry other.
Well, and this being the forest mecca of British Columbia, Bob, we normally don't see these logging trucks looking shiny and bright, but today for the parade they've got them all shined and waxed up. Otherwise they're working hard 7 days a week to bring those logs to keep us going and alive in this vibrant forestry sector town.
Yeah, there's not many people in Quesnel who aren't affected by the forest industry, and that's why it's such an important part of our community.
Yes. Now it looks like they have to do a bit of a turn, so everybody watch out there while they back up a little bit to negotiate this turn. All part of Godso Contracting Limited. Only one of the busy contractors and companies that are involved in the forest sector. I myself work for one of the forest sector companies in town, Bob, and I see these guys every day bringing all the logs in from all around British Columbia.
Well, these trucks are in such pristine condition. I'd be surprised if these ever left the lot. I'd be too scared to scratch it, get it dirty.
Yeah, they're out there busy every day, and usually they're covered in mud and sawdust and wood, so sure is a pleasure to see them all cleaned up.
And if something goes wrong, well, they are sold and serviced by Inland, local to
That's terrific. Big old Kenworth, you betcha.
Number 81, the Graham family racing team with their race car in tow behind here.
Right on. Free Flight authorized dealer, Royal Light Industrial Maintenance. And they must have had one of their stock cars in for the racing team. And there we have Quesnel Sand and Gravel. Quesnel Sand and Gravel has brought in this 2017 Kenworth for the float. And right behind them, Bob, we have...
Looks like we've got Caribou Septic and Jetvac.
Well, that's definitely a necessity and very welcomed service that we have as well, for sure. Caribou Septic.
Oh, is this a crash
It's getting
pass?
loud here. It's getting loud, and we're
Oh, this was a crowd favorite. This number 88 Fruit Loops. This vehicle went until it couldn't go anymore. There's tires back on it now, but by the time it was done, it was done.
amazing. And then Loretta, Jeff, the First Nations, Rural Nation. Sorry, Bob, just getting a little hard to hear. And because now we have the Barlow Creek Volunteer Fire Department, the Quesnel Volunteer Fire Department, our local RCMP, and they're helping us wrap up the parade as always with their loud fire engines. And
the Barlow Creek Fire Department is currently accepting new members. They practice Wednesdays from 7 to 9.
And the Quesnel Volunteer Fire Department with their 5 trucks bring up the rear of the parade. What an amazing parade we have today. We are sure thankful for these volunteers. These people risk their lives every day to help and protect our houses and our community.
Absolutely.
And they don't just do it on a 9 to 5 basis, they're doing it 24 hours a day. And we're sure grateful to have them.
And again, a volunteer crew. So we've talked a lot about volunteerism today. There's a shining example of volunteerism in our community.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have any time in your lives that you could offer some of your volunteer time for anything, any of these events, be it Billy Barker Days or the Quesnel Fire Department, helping out with the animals, whatever, please volunteer your time, because it's with folks like this that make these things possible, and without them we would not be in a very good situation. So thank you to all the tireless volunteers in the Quesnel District. We thank you, we appreciate you. Bob, that looks like it's wrapping up our 43rd annual Billy Barker Days Parade.
Ladder 31 as it comes by.
Well, Bob, that brings a conclusion to the 2016 43rd Annual Billy Barker Days Parade. What did you think of that?
Excellent. It went really well. Nice long parade. Lots of representation from around our amazing community.
Oh, it was. The floats were amazing. It was so long. There were so many entries. I couldn't believe it. It was just amazing.
First responders. We had all kinds of community organizations, bands,
Right.
pipe bands.
Our local dignitaries, MLAs, just an amazing amount of people that brought their time and brought their things so we could watch them in the parade. Just terrific.
Something like this couldn't happen without volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering with any of the organizations you saw in the parade today, or in particular the Billy Barker Day Society, they're always happy to take on new volunteers.
And volunteerism is so important in a civic part of the community, ladies and gentlemen. None of these things would be possible without you. So if it's something that you find interesting, please volunteer your time in your community. Thank you very much. On behalf of Shaw, I'm JP Pinel.
And I'm Bob Holowenko.